Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Slam Academy's Daily Shred. This is Cheat Codes. Let's see, where's my title? There we go. Michaelton's Cheat Codes. Hello, my name is Michaelton. Once again, you are on the Daily Shred on Slam Academy. We do this every single weekday, 6 to 7 Central. And there's some really good streams on this channel, but mine's primarily focused on just how to make things easily. How to kind of use these little hacks and cheats within Ableton to make things quicker, make things more creatively, and kind of add some cool variation. And there's so many tools that can do this. I found a few that I really like. I'm not going to be starting a song from scratch today. I'm going to be mixing this beat. So I made this a while ago, and all these parts were recorded with the micro Korg, and it was made for a beat video. But in this, I'm actually trying to mix it so I can sell it. My friends and I are starting a beat collective, and this is one of the beats that I want to, sell. So with that in mind, when we're doing the mix, there are some specific things that we need to follow. Like, there's certain stereo things. We want it like pretty mono heavy. There's just some things like that that we wouldn't necessarily do if I were like mixing a single of my own with vocals and stuff. I want to make this really friendly, really translatable on different systems. So I'm just basically going to go through each instrument and touch them up and use some new plugins that I have to thicken it up, dress it up, make it crusty, make it vintage. Going to be doing all of that, and going to be using a lot of kind of like multi-band processing, which is a really, really neat thing we can do in Ableton, and I'll definitely be showing you. So yeah, I'm gonna play this from the beginning, and it's pretty dry. So let's just hear how this sounds before I dive in and start touching all these tracks. Thanks so much for joining, everyone. Again, my name is Michaelton. This is Michaelton's Cheat Codes, and thanks so much for being here. Feel free to say hey. Feel free to comment if you have any ideas or any feedback. I love to see what you guys think. So thanks for tuning in. All right, so it's a pretty groovy beat. What's up, Disky? What's up, Ahmed? It's my first time to know much good English, but I like to sing. Ahmed, I love to sing too. I love to sing on all my songs. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be singing today, but just kind of polishing this beat, you know. Um, So thinking about this, it's kind of interesting. We need to make some decisions early on. Like, do I want this? Do I want this beat in like kind of in your face? Do I want to have some space to it? Um, because as I'm mixing this, I'm also going to be taking care of the space. Now, oftentimes when you're doing it, you yeah, slime on, you know what's up. Um, oftentimes when I'm mixing songs, you know, there's a lot of work that goes into the reverb and all the time-based effects to really add depth. But since I'm making a specific like hip hop beat for someone to buy and use, I really need to make it as approachable as possible. And to me, that means keeping everything down the center, keeping you know, like keeping the beat in your face so it's not too like far back there. I don't know. So let's just go through each one. I kind of want to start with the drums, um, and let's see how we can first of all fatten up each sound, and then you know also carve away. But we're basically gonna fatten up. We're gonna saturate. We're gonna add a little bit of depth, and then we're gonna see where we're at. Um, yeah. So starting with the kick and the snare. Let's start this chain, and first thing I'm gonna do is throw a drum bus on this guy. Yeah. Ableton Live has an excellent drum bus. Add a little crunch, turn the damp up. I'm also going to make sure my kick is in tune. Do is the key. Boom. Yeah, that's a little better. You know, I have two drum racks essentially. Maybe I should put this bus on the group instead. So I have two separate drum racks. One is for the kick and snare. I don't know, that was kind of sometimes I do multiple drum racks for different reasons, but when I was making this one, I did it that way. So I have the separate for the kick and the snare, and then I have the a percussion drum rack. And then I put those both in the same group so that I can add this drum bus to it. So let's see how this is all sounding together. Cool. Affecting the transients a little bit. Now I'm going to use, I swear, I will throw this on everything ever, RC20. It's just going to give me some really good tape distortion. It's going to give me some really good analog saturation and some reverb as well. I'm feeling about this kick being that low. Let's bring it back up. When did my kick get so flabby? Okay, so we're gonna do that at 40. All right. Yeah, let's go a little tube. Yeah, let's go with the tube pair on the drums. And I'm gonna take that off the kick, so I can affect the frequency range that this saturator is touching with this dial right here. so that way I'm not totally squishing the kick and, you know, messing with that. So I'm gonna pull it off. Let's bring it in around like 150. That's probably safe. Little space. Ahmed, you have Voloco as well? Hell yeah, man. Yeah, I do that all the time. I do vocals in Voloco, and then I bring them over to Ableton, and then I mix them there. Um, yeah, Voloco's awesome for that. Where am I? On these drums. Really, really subtle with this reverb. Just to give us some noise, you know? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take the kick away from all of this. Yeah. So, I don't want this kick being affected by this distortion. I want to keep it clean. I want to keep it nice. I don't want to squish it. I don't want to add reverb to it. So I'm gonna extract the chain out of the drum rack. That's gonna send it all the way down here. And we'll put it right there, and we'll just call this snare. And then this one, kick. All right, now. Now that's really weird. Why is that hit off? Oh, I see. I have to go through and delete all these kicks first. 1 second. Okay, Command J to join. So I have to delete all of these. Actually, if this is the same every time, yeah, I'm so silly. So I'm just deleting these unused ones because for some reason it activated them. And then duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. And now, now I can go back and extract chains. Yeah, because again, I noticed that my kick was getting squished. And so I just want it completely separate. That way I'll be able to side chain it more easily as well. So this is just snare. This is just kick. And we'll call this one kit. Don't forget to name your tracks, kids. Let's just make sure the snare is really hitting. Maybe I'll add a tiny bit of reverb on this snare. Or better yet. Dare we go into Echo Boy? Yeah, we're trying to make this thing sound good, you know. Let's throw some Echo Boy. I'm gonna mix this very lightly in. So let's just find like a good drum crunch slap. Okay, not that. Mix. Where's the length of this guy? Feedback, look at, groove, dial it. All right, let's try one more. I'm just trying to find something really re-rhythmer. Sci-fi drum room. Let's hear it. Alright, I dig it. Let's keep moving. I'm feeling pretty confident about these two. You know what? I almost forgot to add a little bit of, where is it? Yeah, I'm gonna throw a little RC20, a little stereo wobble on this. Now listen to this amazing stereo effect that this slight detuning has. Now I might just want that on my percussion and not my snare, because I want my snares right down the middle, right? You know, I've been doing this for 8 years, Ahmed. So it's taken me 8 years to be able to do this, man. So definitely keep going if it's something that makes you happy, because eventually you'll be able to whip around like this and you'll be able to get your ideas down. All right, Echo Boy, sorry. I'm just gonna find a reverb. I mainly like this for the oil can. Wow. That's really neat. Wow. That mix is ridiculous. Okay, yeah, for real this time. I'm just gonna throw a simple reverb. Yeah. Let's hear it. All right, next, let's do the bass. Oh, I forgot I have these, I have this fill too. So I'm on this fill sound now, which is my friend Sammy Knox. Nice. Slam Academy is an electronic music school in Minneapolis, Minnesota, USA, and it's also an online school. So we do these streams. We do these daily shreds every weeknight from 6 to 7. There's some really cool ones, a lot of like experimental bass music and stuff like that. But yeah, if you're in Minneapolis, you'll be able to come check out Slam Academy in person soon. But otherwise, you can go to slamacademy.com and check out what we offer online. Lots of cool things. I'm actually taking an online sound design course right now that's very interesting. But I digress. So I'm on this little fill now, and let's just hear how all the drums sound together. That sounded pretty good. They're sounding, cohesive. They're sounding like they're part of the same environment. Let's move on. Let's go to this intro bass. Pretty simple. These things are already pretty juicy because they're coming out of the micro Korg, and we love that. Hi, JP. If you're just joining or wondering what I'm doing, I am mixing down a beat that I'm going to sell. My friends and I started a beat collective, beat marketplace stuff. So I'm just going through a bunch of my old beats, and I'm trying to mix them down in a way that is conducive for selling beats and people buying them and being usable in multiple environments. So it's kind of like make it thick, make it juicy, make it kind of compressed, so these beats, we're just trying to make this thick. So kind of just some mix techniques with some newer plugins that I'm messing with. Definitely not doing some complex mixing stuff, just like I said, making it thick and filling out the space. So this intro bass, we give it some stereo action with that. Let's definitely drive it. And again, we're going to move the focus up, so we're not necessarily driving the sub frequencies, because I think that's a good way to, I think you can, kind of damage the sub if you're driving it too hard. So I'm going to loop here. Like that. All right, you guessed it, this thick bass is up next. So I'm going to do some multi-band processing on this one. Essentially what we do is, let's get rid of these guys. I'm going to save that sidechain compressor, but let's get rid of this notch, and I'm going to group this EQ, and I'm going to go to my chain list, and I'm going to duplicate. And sometimes I do two. Sometimes I do two bands. Sometimes I do three. I think I'm just gonna do three here. And so we're gonna separate this into the low end and the high end of this bass, essentially. Now let's just worry about the low end real quick. This thing's coming out of a very solid synthesizer, and the signal is great. The saturation they have on it already is great. The sound is awesome out of the box. So I'm just gonna do a tiny bit of compression on this low end, and also I need to gain stage a little bit here, because as I'm about to move this compressor around, my gain staging is going to affect where I set this threshold and stuff. So zoom, let's get that guy nice and big. Now holding down shift, there I can access this, and I'm basically gonna turn this guy up as much as I can. Make sure I'm not clipping a little bit. All right, that was awkward because of this. Cool. Now this is gonna be very loud. So I have my low end, right? And gonna save this EQ for the end of this chain, but I'm just gonna do a little light compression. I'm gonna push it a little bit too. Now I'm going to cover it up. Now I'm in headphones, so I can't hear the sub like at all, but I know it's down there because I've heard this beat on big systems. So that's kind of all I want to do for the low end for now. We might go back and do some things, but let's move on to the high end of the bass. It's already pretty delicious. Some things I might do, you know, throwing some, yeah, obviously throwing a saturator, throwing maybe a little reverb. Again, I'm with this kind of mixing job, like this is kind of how I do my like 15-20 minute mixes, just throwing these plugins that are kind of one-stop shops. Exactly what I'm looking for. They can saturate, they can add space, they can add stereo depth, all from the same place. Now, before when I made this song, I did all of these things with Ableton native devices, and that worked just fine. But I really like just slapping this on and using these saturators, and yeah, I'm a really big fan of these sounds. Ooh, yeah, iron. Here comes the delicious stereo image when we add some wobble. I'm gonna go back and make sure that I am not clipping. I'm worried that I am. Yeah, there's some parts that I could be. Just gonna turn it down a scooch. Ah, there we go. Cool beans. So that sounded pretty neat just with that one plugin I put on there. Now what we're gonna do is cut off the low end of this. And you know, sometimes to just make things sound real, I'll throw a cabinet on there just to like really cover it up. Oh my god. Well, thank you, Ahmed. I'm glad you're having a good time. Keep watching. I do this every Tuesday. You know, maybe I'll put this EQ after. I'm kind of destroying the signal, but that's okay. Let's hear what they sound like together. Funny you should say that, Slimon, because I actually do I do vocoder on this song. Let's go to it. Yeah. So yeah, there is already on there. I don't know. Maybe I could sell this with a hook or something. California. Let's see. Where are we? Making this bass juicy. Let's hear the difference between with and without this rack. Pretty nice. Ooh. So that's the difference. It's very one-dimensional. Yeah, I really think this cabinet helped us a lot there. And then I can yeah. Yeah. Nice. I'm gonna add a glue compressor at the very end just to glue these guys together. And the sidechain compressor. Let's hear it with the drums. Where are we at? Sidechain compressor. Slow end. Let's bring nice. Bass is sounding good. Let's move on. We got some other things to attend to here. Like this guy. Sounds like it could use some RC20. some space. That was easy. I think we're doing pretty well. Now, I am mixing in headphones, and I never mix in headphones. So this is kind of odd. It's kind of odd for me. Yeah, my friend Richard played this solo. You know what? I'm going to I'm gonna link in the chat where this song is actually from. One sec. Here we go. Copy link. Here it is. Yeah, so this is the classic sine. Again, this came from the microKORG, but yeah, this is super kind of West Coast sine wave lead. I have just a little bit of erosion on it. It's got some good percussion on the start of it too that I really like. One thing, yeah, that's sounding pretty good. Yeah, I kind of want to put it in a cabinet too. Let's see what that sounds like. Yeah, that's it. Little EQ on that guy just to I'm telling you guys, cabinets can really make something sound real. Essentially, I mean, anytime you plug a guitar into an amp, you're basically, I mean, that thing is in a box, right? So that's what we're putting on the sound. So I'm basically putting the sound in a box, which if you then kind of put some time-based effects on that as well, can really add a real element to it. Let's hear that without the cabinet. It's really in our face. But with the cabinet, it has some like tiny reflections, and I just really like that. Again, I'm kind of mixing in headphones, which I don't normally do, so I don't know if I'll be doing levels necessarily, but I think we can keep listening to this guy and seeing. Maybe I'll do a... No, because then you won't be able to hear it. Yeah, let's listen through again, and I'm just going to start kind of tweaking things as we're listening, as I'm hearing them. Hey, Aiko. Yeah, and I actually did exactly that with the clav, but these are all disabled, and I totally forgot to hit this instrument up, so thank you for reminding me. Check this out. This sound. My clav. A few simple effects. This is very standard. I have an amp. Here's the amp. To give it some bite, and then a cabinet. Let's go far. And then a chorus to give it some stereo image. And then a utility to push it to the sides. Thanks. Oops. Maybe I'll turn these drums down a little bit. Again, before the bass effects, after the bass effects. Yeah, I honestly think this is sounding pretty solid for what I'm trying to do with it, which again is to like sell and have someone rap on it or sing on. Not sure what else there is to really do. Again, it's not a super complex composition, so I don't really need to go super deep into mixing all these time-based effects and really having things intricately placed. It's really just like make everything thick, make it have its own lane. I suppose I could do some just some EQing to make sure that nothing is kind of, you know, out of its lane. So like throwing that on the clav, that's going to give us some more space for the bass. Let's see what our bass signal is looking like at the very end of this. So another thing with with mixing beats is, I suppose, it's weird when there isn't a vocal on it, but I suppose it's smart to kind of leave room for the vocal frequency-wise. For example, the vocal's going to be existing in here a lot, so kind of taking a chunk out of that is going to be helpful when a vocalist does try to mix that on there. So kind of keeping that space clear is important. Also, the drums are kind of smacking through there. I suppose I should EQ this fill, and I guess EQing is kind of like one of the final things for me to do here. Let's see. And look at this kit. Make sure that my snares aren't hitting too low. If anyone has any questions, feel free to hit up the chat. I'm kind of running out of things to do with this one. I also, at this point, I'd consider myself done for the moment. I'd give myself a break, come back to it after touching some other projects. So if anyone has any questions about this song or kind of this quick mix that I'm doing, why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it, let me know. Be happy to answer. In the meantime, yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Let's see how it sounds with a... Should we throw a tag in here? Yeah, let's throw a... Nah, screw it. I'm not gonna throw a tag in there. Thanks, Ahmed. Appreciate it. I know. Let's do some Mishby, and let's resample a little bit on this clav. Maybe we can like send it off into outer space or something. So Mishby is this sweet tape saturator guy, and we can. Maybe not Mishby. Huh. Yeah, it's kind of interesting dealing with all audio files here. No Ableton instruments. I'm wondering if there's room for some more stuff here. You know, just for good measure, let's throw some vinyl poppage in there. Vinyl. Yeah, that's some good vinyl. I'm gonna put this imager on the two mix. Nice. I'd like to hear this on some big speakers for sure. If I wanted to make this kind of all the way vintage, I might do something like grouping everything together. And shit, let's put like I mean, this is pretty extreme, but let's put Mishby on this whole group. Like if we're trying to get some vintage sound here. Yeah, that destroys the bass a little too much for me. Maybe not. Yeah, so it's 7, which means we are coming to the end here, and I accomplished what I wanted to accomplish. It was a fairly easy task, and it was basically get a rough, thick mix of this hip hop kind of funk beat down, and I think I did just that. Yeah, my next step will be to listen to this on some bigger speakers and to kind of do levels in an actual studio environment, not in my headphones. I love to do levels on my actual monitors. So that would be the next step. Thanks so much for watching. I'm going to be getting into some really cool stuff with the Equator 2 and Rolly next week. Thank you, Tolbridge 4. Thank you, Slimon. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Yeah, next week I'm gonna be using this puppy, and I'm just gonna be kind of making a song from scratch with that, like I usually do. And hopefully I'll have some better audio routing capabilities, because that was kind of holding me up last time. But yeah, we're gonna be making a beat from scratch next week. Probably have some other stuff to look at too. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, check out the other daily shreds. They're every weeknight from 6 to 7 p.m. Go to slamacademy.com. Check out our online programs. We offer all sorts of courses. We'll be in person soon. Yeah, have a wonderful night. Thank you.